Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway for Game 3 of League of Legends. It is MLG 4 Championships Azubu Blaze versus NaJin in Grand Finals. It's 1-1 all square. No crazy invades coming out here. The ball control from Song in the middle, spotting out Shai early on. Jat, take us through this level 1 engagement if it were to happen.
Right, the first two games we saw a sprint to that bottom lane brush, but this game we have very defensive formations. Orianna's so hard to invade because she can really throw that ball out wherever she wants and just scout to her heart's content. Although we see McNoon actually just placing as many level 1 traps as he can. Going to try to give him some good map vision. You can see with what they've done there, they're expecting a blue invade, having those 3 red dots on the minimap already. Even with that, Azubu, Captain Jack, and Lustboy looking like they want to go 2-man top lane. Really, I feel like to stop top lane snowball this game, or at least the huge difference between McNoon and Shai, I do think we're going to see some 2v1 lanes, but we're only going to find that out once they actually disperse into lanes.
So we see it's going to be Kane and Prey taking away the Wolves. So this is the start we've been seeing a lot of the Korean teams do, a lot of teams, honestly, not just Korean teams, doing to sort of counter that golem start that we see. But as it is, you can see it is going to be the 2v1 lane, because we're going to have Captain Jack and Shai, Captain Jack and Lustboy, sorry, on that top lane. They're going to be leashing out the blue. I think we're going to take the blue. They're giving Shai. Shai's up there. I'm not too sure which one's going to go. But
this is actually really weird because Shai, Lustboy, and Captain Jack are all up there. So who's going bottom lane is the real question. No one down there right now. They don't even have teleport on their team, so whatever happens bottom lane, someone's going to be late to that point.
It's Shai picking up the blue, so Shai, Honorelli is going to have that blue. Where the heck is he going?
He's going to go back to base and then run out bottom. They're going to sacrifice the fact that they're going to lose the first wave because he would have been denied that anyway, and then just deal with having the blue
damage
wells.
McNoon
gets damaged top lane.
Getting caught out and taking a lot of damage early on from Captain Jack. They're forced to choke through them potions early on. Helios is going in towards the red buff. You can see he's going towards Watch on that red buff. He's going to get around just in the right time. He hasn't got smite. Watch picks it up with the smite and walks away from it just at the wrong time. Walks through a trap as well, McNoon's trap.
So that's a bit unfortunate. A lot of the times when you have that 2-man top lane against one, you can get that red invade. It is trading back damage. Actually, Orianna coming in for a bit of harass. Helios might have to burn flash.
Helios is going to get caught out there. Distance goes down. McNoon is heading down. Lustboy and Captain Jack are following as well. And Lustboy's Helios turns back around. He's going to get the rupture back up on Watch there. Ambition onto Watch as well. Will it be first blood? He's got the double buff. He'll be desperately not trying to lose this one. Helios really wants to get on, but he does walk away. Uses that shield, uses that speed buff.
With that unsuccessful kill there, they actually give up a bit of lane experience there. Song and McNoon getting the pressure relieved off of them slightly. McNoon actually ran back for an early ward. Prey and Kane are very quickly getting themselves out of this 2v1. McNoon teleporting to the bottom lane, not wanting to have a 1v2 lane. Actually, NaJin wanting McNoon going up against a blue buff Shai.
So feeling they're probably stronger in that lane. Captain Jack had punished McNoon early on. We are seeing the mid lane getting pushed heavily here. Song is already down on health and mana. In fact, he's trying to burn out everything from that encounter to try and keep Ambition Zyra away. We've not seen an AP Zyra for some time. It's always just been forced and used as the support these days.
It's one of those things that's actually surprised me a lot because all the strength you get out of Zyra, you access with support for your utility, but it's not like she's not a great burst caster. She can destroy entire teams if she lands just the right combo. So potent pick in mid, also an extremely strong laner. Watch trying to come around the sides, but those plants actually grant temporary vision, and it's not going to let any of those ganks come in because he walked right into a Zyra seed.
Right into the seed. Ambition was well aware of it. And of course, with flash available, didn't even try and burst anything. Top lane are continuing to pressure on, and it is a switcheroo again. And now Lustboy and Captain Jack heading bottom.
So we can really see who wants what here. Ezreal and Lulu are vastly superior to the Janna Vayne lane in laning potential, so they really want to keep away from that. I think it's more about that 2-man lane than it is about a 1v1. And whoa, that's a lot of damage.
The Ignite going down, tried to go for it immediately. You can see Shai comes back in, the exhaust goes down. He's on Prey. He might be able to finish him off first, but comes down. It does. He might be able to get a double kill. Kane just walks away though. And well, good job he did back off because Watch was lingering in the distance with a double buff, knowing full well actually that Helios has gone back. He's going to be invading the other wolves.
So that's a big yikes for NaJin Sword. Lane swapping galore. This is very chaotic, and whenever you pick up one of those early kills in the lane swap, as soon as one of those lanes gets a huge advantage, and the 1v2 isn't a good switch, that's when they've won, and that's a good start for Shai. Ninja Tabi Rush pushing it on McNoon, and that bottom turret is getting chunked by Lustboy and Captain Jack with Prey's death up top, the delayed response. The turret's in a lot of trouble.
It's in a lot of trouble. It's down to 434 hit points already. Just a couple more shots will finish that one off. Shai, meanwhile, continuing to push that farm. He's got a level advantage over, full level advantage, I should say. It's 2 levels now over McNoon. McNoon in a little bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage again. And Shai diving for this one. McNoon's going to go down. He does. Shai pops in with the ulti. And now this is sliding quickly already. We saw it in game 1. Can Shai slide it back?
Looking like early, because when you initiate the lane swaps, you generally fall a bit behind in experience, and you have to be very careful that you don't get punished the instant the enemy hits a breakpoint. Shai hit 6 with the rally, went straight in on McNoon. That's going to be huge for him. McNoon needs to be able to 1v1 anyone to split push successfully. It's going to be so hard since he's 2 levels behind Shai.
Song and Ambition having a trade back and forth. Helios taking a look around, but he's immediately pinged out. They knew his position, and they do back off. Shai goes back to buy. Is Watch going to allow him? No, he's not. He's going to come straight in and put a little poke on him. A little crab claw. A little love tap, I believe is what Monte Cristo would like to call it. Oh, mid lane. His Song's getting good caught out. The ultimate comes down from Zyra. He backs away. Nobody's got the mana to finish him off.
Still saved his Ignite. That's really just trading ultimate for a flash. Makes that lane potentially a little more gankable for Helios, but mostly it's just a farm off. With all the lane swapping, we haven't really looked mid lane. That's actually going incredibly close, 50 to 47 between Ambition and Song.
But that top lane is definitely Shai's. He has that 1,000 gold advantage already over McNoon, just 7 minutes in. So that whole difference for the team is purely all on Shai versus McNoon. It's a complete switch. It's all game 1 all over again.
It's just seeming to be that matchup has been swingy between Shai and McNoon, and really swinging back once again. Ninja Tabi recurve bow to just a Dorn's Blade on McNoon. It's big trouble there, because especially with teleport, no combat summoners, as soon as Shai gets back to lane or gets a chance, he's going to jump immediately onto McNoon, and there won't be much he can do about it.
McNoon there's a full level advantage, and there you go, jumps straight on him, gets the stun down. McNoon has to try and pounce away using his ultimate. He might dive on towards McNoon. McNoon in trouble. He gets to flash through, doesn't quite catch it. One more hit is all Shai needs. He's going to
ignite him.
He doesn't need to ignite him, does finish him off, and that is another kill for Shai. 3-0 on that top lane. 2 against McNoon, 1 against Prey, down this bottom. And the bottom lane is still very even between them. We're seeing an invade here. They're going for the red buff. Shai is on it.
Absolute pressure here, and Shai knew exactly the score between himself and McNoon. He wanted to save that Ignite, but realized Nidalee was going to pounce away, and just did a great job finishing him off, queuing up the red buff. This is total pressure from Azubu.
Oh, they've given it Shai.
Oh. And I really feel like this is just a replay, really. It's what happened in game 1, it's what happened in game 2. The 4 members of the map play even, and the top laner is deciding. Shai 3-0 Ninja Tabi. It's on the rest of NaJin to come back. Captain Jack getting taken low.
Captain Jack taken low. The exhaust used on towards Prey. Captain Jack forced to back away. Tree Shot Barrage dodged out there. Lustboy is going to be the next target. Lustboy with the exhaust on puts the shield down, and you can see the turret doing the damage on Prey. Prey trying to get another mystic shot. He might get caught on. Captain Jack pops it down. Lustboy, Kane forces him away. Top lane actually back up there. They're on towards Shai. Shai getting taken low. Shai might get dropped. He's got the red buff. He managed to avoid it. Is the ultimate going to be enough? Orianna takes down 1, and McNoon finally picks up the kill. Bottom lane as well. They're diving down. You can see it's Song coming round. He picks up 1, picks up 2. Prey gets the kill, and now they're on the tower. Wow, back and forth action, and suddenly 3 quick kills for NaJin Sword.
Said NaJin needed the rest of the team to come in and immediately watch ultimate up top to get the shutdown on Shai. Song roams down, and they get 2 more kills. 3-3 mid lane. Here's a fight.
Mid lane, McNoon on towards Ambition. He doesn't really have the damage, and Zyra ultimate was used there on McNoon just to bait him away. But back and forth action, is that enough though to swing it back in NaJin Sword's favor? Bottom to it does go down.
I mean, with that, the gold is now 1,000 into NaJin Sword's hands, which right after that 3rd Aurelia kill, thought we might just see another runaway victory, but very quickly they've turned this one right on its head, and they're pushing everything at this point. You know, Lustboy and Captain Jack just pushed back, trying to freeze the lane. Now it's on Prey and Kane to just shove up with McNoon and let the split pushing commence. McNoon's picked up Ninja Tabi. He's very escapable and slippery. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Well, looking across the board at the gold advantages, obviously you've got Shai leading McNoon, but down that bottom lane, it's 1,000 gold almost difference between Prey and Captain Jack. Captain Jack really being outlaned there. Back in the middle, you can see it's an advantage again, but this time, despite the farm being 10 CS difference, it is actually Orianna, the Song, with that advantage. Now we're having the lane switches back again. Prey going back to the top. They're going to push on his turret.
Dragon for turret right here, actually. Azubu taking it, and Shai's going to try to shove that away with his ultimate.
And they should take down the bottom turret. Shai's got to be really careful, actually. He's going to dive in. The bottom turret, there's nothing left of it, so they're going to pick up the Dragon and then immediately go around and pick up another turret.
So overall, this is going to be a good edge for Azubu. They'll get a Dragon and turret for a turret, and even then, you know, Shai's got to be careful, but he spent a lot of time, wasted time for NaJin's sword. They do get the turret anyway, but definitely made it cost him.
It may well have cost him. Captain Jack's just going to carry on getting that free farm down the bottom. So despite the fact they've pushed that tower, they have got that slight advantage. It's 2-0 in turrets. Very even game so far. Helios just keeping his eye on Watch there. Watch taking a look, see if he could manage to pick anything up. Captain Jack is going to regain a bit of that farm. That bottom turret is actually very low. McNoon heading down the bottom now.
So really just more lane swaps in this game than we've seen this entire series. McNoon's going to have to find that window to split push, and they're going to end up giving up this bottom turret as we thought was going to happen after the Dragon. Looking at the matchup between Prey and Captain Jack, it could be a lot worse for Captain Jack, but he is down 600 gold to Prey. Not the best. Ezreal is going to be able to push him back. Really, Vayne needing to wait to late game. Look at Zyra's build in the mid lane. Ambition going for an early haunting, guys. One of the reasons Zyra is such a good support is she has very high base damages on her abilities. So when you go kind of AP carry Zyra, a lot of the first things you do is get that magic penetration just to access those base damages and make them hit even harder. Ambition will be completing those Sork shoes probably on this next back. Dragon's still got another 2.5 minutes. Shai again in this 1v1 against McNoon. Let's see if he tries to press anything on this turret.
Well, one thing we know against this team comp is the fact that McNoon will be in there. The fact that he's on the lead is going to be a poke comp. The problem is, Shai's actually got fed pretty well early on. He's going to go, looks like, for the Ionic Spark as well in this top lane. So he knows he doesn't need to go full tank. He can just go farm crazy. Oh, just looking towards the jungle, actually. Seeing where Watch and Kane are going. Red buff has just spawned. They may go for the full invade here. Prey and Kane are with them as well. Lustboy comes around. Helios is there. Song's in there. It's a full 4-man invade by NaJin Sword. They're going to pick up this red buff without issue. It's given to Prey. And that is a good invade.
Successfully using that pressure. The other 4 members of NaJin Sword doing their best to stay in this game. And that's the thing. For the strategy to work, McNoon has to be able to 1v1. If Shai can destroy him, they're probably going to lose, because as soon as McNoon has to enter full 5v5 team fights, he's just not the same. That's not how Nidalee works. This isn't the AP Nidalee that pokes down either. This is the bruiser Nidalee that split pushes, creates distraction, and tries to run away. He's doing an okay job staying in this. The gank they pulled off up top was very good at keeping him in this game. Top turret he has, still's got a lot of health. They're up 2 turrets to 0, so the pressure is still on their side. Really just got to stay alive here. And Shai's going to have to build a lot of damage if he wants to keep McNoon scared off. I don't think they're quite out of this yet, but they got to be very careful to not let Shai get any bigger.
Well, Captain Jack once again losing out that bottom lane to Prey. So the mid lane always seems to be fairly even, so it tends to be that top lane that swings it so heavily. Wit's End actually was picked up by Aurelia, so he's more cautious about it. He's not going that Ionic Spark. He's not going to go farm it. Wit's End's a good choice, though.
Yeah, Wit's End is the non-wicked Aurelia item of choice, really. That's what everyone likes to use. It synergizes with her true damage. Really just make sure you do all kinds of damage, magic, true, and physical. So hard to itemize against, and will be a good defensive mechanism against McNoon's Cougar form as well. So, really, this game has calmed down a little bit after all the early lane swaps. Looked like Azubu was going to run away with it early. NaJin came back with some big plays. Now we look pretty even.
So, blue buff being picked up by Ambition. We do see Shai returning to that top lane. Watch is just off in the brush. Whether he's going to try and sneak around the backside and impale Shai here, he may well go for it. Comes in, puts the ward down on the blue, and he has immediately reacted to it. McNoon saying, let's try and go for this one. Here he comes, shield pops, trying to get on towards impale on Shai. Does manage to land the impale. Have they got the damage to deal with it? Flashes out of it and just avoids all the damage. Very nicely done. Ping's going on towards Song, actually, on them rates, and you can see Ambition and Helios coming in. He has to flash away. So flashes burn both sides of the map.
And going back to that gank up top, I got to hand it to Shai. That was a really crisp escape. He used his E-stun right as Watch ulted him, so he couldn't actually pull him back, which allowed him a much easier job of flashing out of that gank. And it also stopped Watch from getting any of his Q slows off onto him, and it made him much more escapable. That was a really, really well executed escape.
So one thing we do know is Vayne gets incredibly hyper carry late game. He has fell around about 20 CS behind, but that's not the end of the world. If the rest of his team can help him out, he is going to become so strong late game. But Ezreal is going to be maneuverable. They're going to try and pick up this mid turret. If they can take that down, they can't tank it through here. Watch didn't have it impale though, but they've got to be worried against Shockwave's Song.
Yeah, the big thing for Captain Jack really is going to be it's going to be on Prey. It's going to be Ezreal's job to kind of sneak around and flank to make sure he gets Captain Jack to a point where he can't carry. Like, Ezreal outranges him with Mystic Shot, and he's the one who's going to have to kind of keep Captain Jack down. Oh, wow, look at this mid.
The Zyra ultimate catches on towards Song. Song gets bounced by Rupture. He does manage to get the shockwave on the entire team. They're turning it back around here, but Kane is going to get dropped. No, Captain Jack, the exhaust goes down. Watch is going to get dropped. That's the Oracle burn, and they do manage to get one kill out of it. The True Shot Barrage was not enough. Now Mac Noon's just backing away on this top lane turret. You can see Shai poking back and forward on it. He's just going to chunk it down and walk away. Mac Noon not really able to deal with the Shai. Does manage to get a pounce and then puts a bit of damage down. That's a good dive though by Azubu Blaze on that mid turret.
The Zyra damage by Ambition really setting everything up, and they escaped with some slivers. That could have been much worse for them. If Captain Jack got those kills, it would be disastrous. And they are going to go for Prey here. He's going to try to back up. This is going to be trouble.
They're going in towards him. Helios is taking a chunk of damage. He uses exhaust. He's going to try and turn this into a kill. Rupture goes down. He manages to arcane shift out of it. Captain Jack versus Prey. Captain Jack does not have the damage. Helios is going to come back in. He could 2v1 them here. He gets one. He's coming to come around the two, but the shield is there just in time. Oh! Lustboy tries to pop Monsoon, but it was too little, too late. And he gets a 2v1 and an Oracle taken down on Helios. That was a horrendous trade.
Carry pants on for Prey there. The red buff going down, and Lustboy actually caught out.
Lustboy caught out in that bottom lane. You can see he's in all sorts of trouble. Watch comes in, gets the impale, drags him back in there. He goes down. Shai takes the top turret. But this is a incredibly close match.
Seemingly every time Azubu makes a big play, NaJin answers with something slightly larger. That Oracle's is huge. Helios has lost a lot of Oracles in this series, and they're just going to take this Dragon straight away with 3 of them. Mac Noon did lose that top turret. That's going to be the everlasting struggle for them, is actually dealing with Shai, because the other 4 members, they seem to have it fairly well under control.
Yeah, it's a 50 CS advantage now. Actually, 41. But that's the second Dragon picked up by NaJin Sword. That's giving them keep that gold swing in their favor. They see back towards that mid lane. The difference is the turrets are all very low. 118 hit points on the mid turret. 260 hit points on the bottom turret, so it's easily going to be a 3-2 in terms of turrets quickly, whereas you look at the mid turret for Azubu Blaze, it has been untouched so far.
And you look at NaJin Sword's mid turret, I think you just mentioned that. It's going to go down to this next push, I have to say. If they try to defend Ambition, we'll crush them off with that ultimate, but it's going to even up the turrets 2-2, and that's going to pretty much even this gold straight up in the game. There's going to be some big team fights to come through, and Shai being with the team, got to give a slight edge here to Azubu, because Mac Noon's not at the point where he can enter team fights. He hasn't actually pulled himself ahead. Helios immediately picks up Oracles, and Captain Jack finally might take down this bottom turret. Yeah, I think he will.
He might. Oh no, he's had to back off. There goes the minions taking it down. They're all coming around actually. They're going to try and close in on him. Song with the ball, just keeping the control, keeping him away. Looking back towards that middle, Mac Noon going on towards Ambition. Mac Noon getting caught. Look at the damage going down from Ambition. He can deal damage to Mac Noon. He's in trouble. The rest of NaJin Sword are going to try and come around the side though. Ambition needs to back away, but the poke, we saw it when that team fight happened in the mid lane. They only picked up the 1 kill off it, but Ambition's Zyra's ultimate, it can catch everyone, and you can follow it up the Rupture. It's effectively crippling anyone that gets caught in that AE.
Yeah, Ambition's ultimate is kind of like Mega Rupture. It's just a larger, longer delayed knock-up with the damage up front, so they definitely combo very, very well together. When these team fights actually start happening, it's going to be so interesting, because Prey is really the hyper carry for NaJin. Song also has a huge amount of farm, and it's going to be up against Ambition and Shai, really. Everyone has their own carry. It's just a matter of who's going to be getting taken down. The slightest edge right now has to go to Azubu Blaze, since Mac Noon's split push isn't really working and he might be forced into team fighting, but this is still so close to call.
And Song looking like they might try and camp out and see if they can catch on Captain Jack here. They have the creep wave coming in. Captain Jack's got to be careful, but Song showed himself. He was hanging around the side, showed himself early. Helios, meanwhile, in that mid lane. They've both got the Oracles up, the 2 junglers, so they're going to clear out and just defend out the waves. We are at just 200 gold between the teams. 20 minutes gone in this game, 3-2 in kills. very even between the teams right now. So we're going to start moving to, well, we are in the mid-game. Late game, who would you give this one to? Right? If we were, say, like last game, starting to hit the 40-minute mark,
right,
and say everybody is even in farm, team composition-wise.
If this hits 40 minutes and the gold is still even, I think Azubu Blaze takes it over. I think Captain Jack will have too much damage, he'll have too much utility from Ambition, and McNoon will be trapped team fighting without having to split push. He's going to try to work on that Trinity Force, but he's just not the same as Shai in these team fights, and the rest of the members of their team are going to seemingly kind of tank over. Late game Jan is still quite strong. The reset of those fights will be very, very potent. And Azubu, I guess if they maintain the gold level they have right now, would look to be stronger.
And Azubu Blaze looking like they want to try and force something in the mid lane. Lustboy's going to back off first. So they are allowing McNoon to continue free farming. He's trying to close the gap, trying to close that farming gap that Shai keeps extending. Every time he just slips away to one of those waves, he just farms up another double, triple wave. Watch backs off. Let's have a look down the items, Jats. Take us through who really is in control right now.
Yeah, the big thing that jumps out here is a Phantom Dancer rush by Captain Jack. So combined with the E-Shield from Janna, he's going to be chunking down huge amounts of damage in fights, especially once he pops his ultimate. So that's strong. So he's behind Prey. Prey can actually 1v1 him. It's just a matter of those 80 carries dueling against each other. Lustboy really putting Captain Jack to the edge where he can kind of compete. You look at the mid lanes, full Magic Pen build coming out from Ambition. Double Magic Pen as well as an Abyssal Scepter, so he's dealing true damage to most members. Song is yet to complete his Death Cap. He's got the Athene's Unholy Grail, but he'll really hit power mode once he gets that Death Cap. I have to say, the curve is slightly in the hands of Azubu right now. The Aegis of the Legion being completed by Helios. Aegis not completed yet by Watch, so they have them there. And the next Dragon is really going to be where we see a fight. Whether Shai comes down for it, whether McNoon's able to split push, even 4v4, I think Azubu Blaze might have it.
You're missing it at the top there.
McNoon
has speared Shai. He's been trying to back off in that tri-bush 3 times, and McNoon keeps spearing him every time he tries to go away. But you can see he just gets that life regen straight back, clears out the wave. McNoon trying to be a pain. Thorn in the side, one might say. And it's not really working out.
It's what he has to do. He needs to be able to split push. He needs to be able to take Shai out of it. Because we look at that, and the matchup between the two, Shai's got 7,700 gold, and McNoon's got 6,200. If he can trade his body for Shai's and just be a pest, then his team's ahead. And his team has chances in team fights and has a chance to win.
And of course, Song, if he can land one of those shockwaves just at the right time. But of course, Ambition could do the same thing.
Oh, McNoon up top.
McNoon up top. They're diving on towards him. The Ignite's running. He's going to heal it through, though. And Shai showing that he's winning out that fight. I mean, that was just a straight-up brawl, and he absolutely decimated him.
Especially getting that Phage. He just needs the one Phage proc at the right moment, and he can just start training McNoon down. McNoon got his Trinity Force, so he'll be a little bit quicker in running away, but it still probably won't be enough. With that, they see Captain Jack farming bot. NaJin Sword looks to push mid.
They try to push mid, but it's very hard to farm against Azira and push that lane. It's almost like an Anivia, I guess. You can just farm out, quickly clear them waves. There's not a lot NaJin Sword could do about it. They're going to go return, they're going to retreat, pick up the blue buff. And again, McNoon returns to top lane. He needs to just keep split pushing. Azubu Blaze looking like they might try and push something, force something down on Dragon. McNoon's going to be away from this fight. He has got teleport. The rest of the team are going to start closing around it.
This could be a big fight. Azubu wants to force, and you can see NaJin just immediately peels away. Helios and Watch both with Oracles. Now Azubu just pushes down onto it. Aurelia's down here. McNoon doesn't want to teleport down. I think Azubu's just going to take this Dragon clean.
He does try and take it clean. They got the steal. Lulu, would you believe it? Kane gets the steal with a Glitter Lance.
Yep, Helios needed to feast that. Like, they have 1,000 true damage on an ability, and you get it with a Glitter Lance. He smited a little bit too early. And that's an unfortunate series of events. They peeled down for Aurelia, and McNoon is on the run now. Let's see if he can be a pest and keep distracting.
Shai's going to close in. He could manage to jump towards a minion. He's not going to continue chasing, and he does cause himself a problem. Lustboy clearing out this creep wave in the bottom. But while this has all happened, Prey has just been farming. He's so far ahead of Captain Jack right now.
Look at that, 8,400 to 6,800. That's just a monstrous edge. The Trinity Force scaring him off. Really, Captain Jack gets in range of Prey. He's going to die because he'll probably get a Phage proc. Ezreal's so good at that, seeing as it applies on his Mystic Shot as well. and he just can't handle it. So he's got to freeze the lane down here and just try to catch up. That gives NaJin Sword a bit of a pressure advantage, and they might be able to push down mid, knowing Captain Jack is trying desperately to farm up bot lane.
And Helios having to get shielded up there as Kane actually causing the problems. We've seen the Korean teams actually giving their supports quite a bit of help. We've seen Kane, I think it was Kane before, that had the Frozen Heart on there. He also built a bit of an Abyssal Scepter, I think he was in one of the games.
It is what they tend to do. It's one of the reasons I think is they spread wards around so much. I've seen a lot of these games, all 5 members have wards. They're prone to getting a couple extra kills picked up, and it's just a matter of, yeah, they can coordinate and add to the team utility. This game, however, just double GP10 coming out for both of them. And there they go for Ambition, mid lane.
Going for Ambition in the mid lane. He's going to get caught out. He's not going to be able to pop the Stranglethorns. He does manage to get him down. He's exhausted. He's still surviving. And Howling Gale comes across. It's not going to be enough. Helios also taken down very low. Prey is just shredding through the team there. But it was Kane that picked up the kill. McNoon off the side there. Tries to get the spear onto Helios. Doesn't work.
So what's happened actually here is McNoon is being enough of a pest that Shai's usually off farming, and then Prey is far enough ahead of Captain Jack. The Captain Jack gets stuck bottom, so they keep getting these pick kills mid lane, and they might actually turn it into a turret here.
Well, Shai hasn't reacted. He's not come across the help to help out here, and he's just stayed on that side, stayed farming. NaJin's sort of going to try and turn this into an inner turret here. Shai really has to react. Instead, he's just backed off, and then they might lose another turret. That shield is not going to work. The Howling Gale comes across. The Rupture goes down. They're just about saving it out here, but he's going to continue poking on it. Kane manages to get the kill. They're going to go for the aggression. They're going to go for Helios. Helios with the Ignite going down. He doesn't want to go. He uses the Ignite over. He gets taken down. Shai gets back in there, manages to get watched. The Shockwave misses. That's probably the first Shockwave I've ever seen a Korean miss. Prey takes down Lustboy. When Lustboy is in absolute domination mode here, he's cleaning out, but Kane's picked up the blue buff off that.
And this has all happened because NaJin Sword is doing such a good
Captain
job
Jack,
pressing the side lanes. He's going in the wrong direction. Here comes Prey.
Prey just flashes onto him. He manages to catch it. If he can get an arcane shift through, he's not going to be able to go down there. McNoon tries to come around, uses the Stranglethorns there to try and be defensive. NaJin Sword absolutely catching Azubu Blaze in a muddle.
It's the pressure, but now they will finally have to back off. There's a huge creep stack up in the bottom lane. It's doing work on the turret. Even with that, though, they're doing a very good job. I have to say, Shai, he went for that Wit's End. The Ionic Spark might be a heck of a lot better because he'd be able to shove the lane. They keep getting caught trying to farm side lanes, and now they're chasing down onto Song. He's got to get away here.
He's got to get away. They're closing him off. He's not going to be able to avoid the damage, and Jack is just farming out, actually, instead of continuing. He's going to let Shai do the chase. He does get caught out, pops the ultimate. Oh, tries to actually pins him away. The rest of the team are closing in. He's going to walk straight in towards Lustboy, though. Tries to juke it out, tries to turn it into a kill. Captain Jack, Shai gets on him, gets the kill. Now NaJin Sword forced to back away. Could they go for Baron here, Jack?
And that's a big carry down for Song. Really the main focal point of their team fighting is that Orianna, and McNoon's not the best team fighter, but they decide that they are low enough. They burned a couple ultimates recently. There's no Janna ult, no Captain Jack ult, no Ambition ult. They're not able to get this. Of course, Rabadon's death cap finally being completed by Song. That's going to be big in team fights if he gets the right shockwave. Still got to say, this is what NaJin Sword needs to do to stay in the game, but because they have a weaker late game team fight, this is still too close to call.
It is very close. Ping's going down. Helios trying to clear out. He's lost Oracle once before. Watch doesn't have an Oracle of his own. I'm just going to see whether anyone's picked one up. Kane has the Oracle this time around. Of course, he picked up kills. They've started on Baron. They managed to sneak that ward in the side there, and I think that might be enough for Azubu Blaze to peel off. They see McNoon is down the bottom. He has got teleport. Here he comes. McNoon joins the fight. Ambition getting caught out, and Prey's trying to pick off on the back there. Prey might get caught out. Shai's dived onto him. Ambition takes down Prey, and now NaJin Sword are in all sorts of trouble. They're going to try and keep poking on towards Ambition. Watch goes in. He can't land the Impale. It's going to be the Stranglethorns popping. Bounces Watch up. Watch gets taken down. And Azubu Blaze continue on the Baron. They take it down. And now they're going to turn and chase.
Song having the death timer did his best to run mid lane, but that was a great force by Azubu. NaJin Sword should have stayed group up, getting the pick onto Prey, really created that Baron for him. This time Helios used Smite and Feast at exactly the same time, guaranteeing the Baron kill. No more Glitterlance steals on big objectives. 5v3 here, actually split pushing, Zyra going up top, trying to take multiple turrets at once.
So Ambition is going to back off. McNoon heads up there, but they are going to pressure on towards this middle turret. They should be able to take it down. Shai's on it. There goes the ball coming out from Song, but it's not going to be enough, and the turret goes down. It's an inner turret traded. They're back up 4-4 all square.
just zooming back with that Shirelias. Everybody on their team got a big chunk of gold off that. Baron plus turret plus kills. It's a very happy team when they hit the shop next. Captain Jack, once he gets that Infinity Edge, he's going to be real scary. That's going to be the point where he can start dueling prey. McNoon still forced into team fighting a little bit. The pressure did create a couple early mid-turret kills, but will that pressure have worn out on them? Helios with that Oracles again. Aegis of the Legion on both sides. Not really any other big ore items coming up. And with this Baron buff, NaJin's trying to rush down the Dragon, but Azubu might come try to force a fight here.
They might force the fight, but I think the Dragon is going to go down quickly. Yes, it does. It's the smite from Watch that manages to take it out. He didn't use his Impale in that last fight. Didn't get a chance to. But Azubu players with that Baron buff are certainly going to be the stronger in the team fights right now. Shai is starting to cause himself problems as well. Time to get a problem for McNoon, but McNoon with a BF sword. Infinity Edge being completed by both AD carries and Captain Jack. Surely now he has that Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer is in a strong position.
And so McNoon's BF sword is really all about tower pushing. That's not something that would help him team fight. He'd need a lot more resilience if he's planning on 5v5ing a team with Zyra. So he's really just trying to be a pest, and it's not working out too well for him at this point. Captain Jack or Shai would very well be able to run McNoon down, so his split pushing has to be very timed and cautious, and if they get corralled up against their base is when they're really going to be in trouble. That looks like what Azubu is going to try to do. We see Captain Jack pushing down that bottom lane. Once all the lanes push up, McNoon wouldn't have a way of getting out, and he's trying desperately to keep those lanes pushing.
He's trying to keep, you can see him legging it up towards the top there. Shirelia's Reverie being picked up. Bloodthirster completed by McNoon. Kane with the Shirelias to help and try and speed that team around the map. Captain Jack is just completely free farming this bottom lane. The rest of the team are going to collapse around there. They're heading towards the bottom turret. It's down to half health already, just 1,200 hit points, and they're going to tank it through.
Yeah, they saw that McNoon's over there. They also know McNoon doesn't have a teleport up, so even if they fought on this turret, it would be a 5v4. Not something NaJin's sword wants to take on against a Baroned up team. And this is going to be a race because McNoon's not stopping this push, and it is a 5v4. Azubu should look to dive here unless McNoon's making it back. McNoon's being they might dive here.
He's backing off, but they've took the turret down to half already on the inhibitor. The turret, the Baron buff has around about 30 seconds left on it, so they want to use it as much as they can. Question is, now that McNoon's back, I think they're going to back away. I don't assume they're going to dive this turret yet. Still only 9-9.
Especially against Orianna with her shockwave up. Knowing that McNoon has lost vision, they know he's back in the lane here in the base. So Azubu might try to finish off this turret, but I think they're probably just waiting out their Baron. If they get a pick, they'll take it, but they're not looking to fight.
Yeah, they're not looking to get anything here. Lustboy eating a spear, but the spear's, like you say, not doing as much crazy damage because he's not got that ability power, and they're really not doing a lot to the support. It's more a case of just harassing, and they do peel away. So, Jat, we've got 100 gold between them. We did say when they were at the 30-minute mark, and we are at 47k apiece, and 9-9 in kills. Turrets just one apart. Baron buff run out. Oh, they're going. Watch is flashed in. He's impaled up towards Shai. Shai getting caught out here. Shai is going to get dropped very, very quickly. It's McNoon that picks up the kill, and they do continue to chase. A good catch there, but again, the Zyra stun just keeps them all and stops them in their tracks.
And they really poke down McNoon.
Oh, Lustboy's been caught out. Lustboy prays back on Lustboy. He's going to get dropped. True Shot Barrage, he dodged out of the way of it. Howling Gale goes across, but Prey gets dropped. Takes him down.
This is what NaJin's sword needs to do. They cannot win straight 5v5 team fights, so they've done a great job most of the game sticking into it. That's a lot of Watch's Skarner ults that have gotten kills, and they're continuing down to press on these turrets. They need to get this advantage up, and they still don't really want a team fight, but while they have the death timers down for another 23 seconds, they're going to look to push as much advantage as they possibly can.
They're going for Helios. They're trying to drive him through, and McNoon just causing himself a problem there. Helios taken down to about half health. While that's all happening, you can see Ambition's going to keep Prey away. Prey putting a lot of damage down on this mid turret. The rest of the team pushing on towards it, and NaJin sword doing a great push. Helios is taken down very low again. Watch wanted to get in there, doesn't have his impale. Prey comes back around. He's not doing the damage to them, and they do manage to defend these turrets. But they chipped away at them, and those outer turrets of the base are starting to go down. Just a 1k gold difference. Very, very tight fight.
Best way to really end a 3-for-3 with the closest match of the bunch. Bunch of items being completed now. We got the Guardian Angel on Song. Warden's Mail actually coming out onto Watch, so that's going to be for him trying to deal with Captain Jack. Vayne very much a carry who has to kill the closest thing, so when he pops that Warden Mail, he's going to try to get the slower attack speed debuff onto Captain Jack just out of the dice roll, but Still, they've kept the game close. They have the better late game. This is Azubu. All they need to do is stay grouped up, try to avoid the McNoon split push, easier said than done, and just keep control of the game because they've been getting picked off a little bit, which is allowing NaJin's sword to stay alive. They probably need to control around the next Baron, which is coming up in 1 minute, and go for a fight there. They know McNoon's teleports up. They're going to have to deal with some split pushing. They're going to probably have to go for Baron and try to peel off it if they want to get something done.
And as it is at the moment, NaJin's sword seems to be the ones that are the aggressor. They're going in. You can see they're trying to steal away the blue buff. Ambition's just off the side, but he doesn't want to get a look. He puts the ward down, realizes it's already gone. Bottom lane actually Shai on towards McNoon, but Watch is there. Watch is delaying. Now he comes in for the Impale. Have they got the damage to deal with him? Pops away, zips away, and walks off like a boss. No problems.
That was one of those issues where Watch might have burned his Impale a little too early. He could have gotten the slow train onto Shai and maybe taken him down from there. Another great escape by Shai. He's done a fantastic job dealing with Watch. Captain Jack going to be able to pick up that red buff. And there's a chance that Impale won't be up for the Baron fight. They're going for McNoon.
McNoon is going to get caught out. Rupture comes through, and that is going to be a very dead McNoon. And Helios takes him down. They're going towards the Baron. Baron is up any second now. And NaJin's sword, have they managed to steal a gasp on them here?
I mean, McNoon, his whole point was being a pest. He couldn't run away for that long. They're going to try to rush this down. Ambition going to try to come in and disrupt, but this is going to be real close. They're peeling off.
They're peeling off on towards Ambition. He's down to 2,500 hit points. Here comes Captain Jack. Here comes Lustboy. They're on towards the Baron. They do not get the steal. It was managed to, it was Watch that picked it up. Watch gets taken down though, and there's going to be the shockwave on towards Ambition. Ambition taken down very low. They're going to continue chasing. That is going to be Prey taken down. Kane is backing off. And despite the fact they got the Baron, actually Song is going to get away just at the side there. Oh no, they've caught out Kane. He pops his own ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. And the Azubu Blaze go through 4 for 0 there. But the Baron down, they're going to tank up and take this top turret. Shai is going to get dropped low though.
The gold of Baron, keeping it even kind of off of that, but when you give all those kills to Captain Jack and the turret pressure, it is just not worth it. The death timer is still very long.
Shai.
Song trying to keep him back, but look at the damage just coming through from Captain Jack, trying to push down this turret.
They can't tank this one. Captain Jack's going to get caught out here if he's not careful. Does manage to avoid the damage. The ball comes back in. Oh, the spear nearly getting in there, but the Thorn was put down. Clutch Thorn from Ambition.
And again, look at the gold, 55 to 55.1. It just keeps shrinking back to being identical. And we said that does give Azubu Blaze a slight late game edge, and Vayne is starting to hit critical mass. McNoon trying to come down with Bloodthirster and a Last Whisper, needing to take down those turrets, but the team fight potential might just not quite be there. Guardian Angel fresh on Shai. Guardian Angel fresh on Song.
Well,
and another pick maybe.
Lustboy's caught out, has to use Monsoon to blast McNoon away. He managed to get the slowdown, but it was not enough. Helios has got to be careful that he doesn't get caught out. Song, of course, the only surviving member with the Baron buff still on him, is going to do a lot of damage, so they have to be careful. NaJin sword again being the aggressor here.
These teams are playing at such a high level. NaJin sword really doing a great job at trying to pick off unorganized Azubu members. And even with all the deaths, even with all the team fight disadvantages that they have, they're still able to keep pressure up, take objectives. That's the Baron they've taken. That's another Dragon they've been able to take. The turrets, they're actually up 6 to 5. The gold is still even. They can somehow continue to avoid 5v5 engagements. They should be all right. But as the game gets later, that gets more and more difficult. Really, how is Azubu going to corral them? Because once they do, it's going to be over.
Well, McNoon needs to be careful. They don't realize that he's down that lane. Now he shows himself. They could close on him. Shai is there. You can see McNoon. He's going to teleport away, and he's gone. He's like up the top and farming away.
Trying to create as much stall as he can. But now that he's used his teleport, they know that's the only way he could have gotten out of there. They're going on to push this turret. They can't. They might not be comfortable 5v5 diving, but if they land a good rupture, they might just try to combo in everything else.
That turret is low. That turret is very, very low. They could just go in and finish it. Shai gets in there. He's got a GA. The Impale was used. They're going to get him down. The Zyra ultimate. Their shockwave comes through. Shai's Guardian Angels has been popped, but Watch is taken down very low. Lustboy pops the Monsoon, forces them back. Watch is trying to get in there. That is Captain Jack going down. Prey manages to take down Helios as well. They're catching on towards Ambition. Ambition with the GA should be able to avoid any more damage, but NaJin sword get a good slow. It's Ambition caught out. The GA gets popped. Watch is going to have to avoid himself here. He tries to back away from it. Ambition goes down to Song, and that was a great, great trade for NaJin sword.
McNoon still chasing Lustboy.
Lustboy is well, Magnoon could pounce, catch him out here. He's going to have a Howling Gale. There he goes, pops it out. He tries to turn on towards Shai. Shai could probably 1v1 him here, actually.
And that's the hold. Those inhibitor turrets so hard to crack. Really, that shockwave destroyed the fight. And the late game advantage that Azubu has is all around Captain Jack. So if they pick him off at the start of those fights, they show that they can still very well win. Shockwave actually back off cooldown. Still some long death timers coming in for Azubu. Captain Jack and Helios not up for another 10. They might get this inhib.
They get the inhibitor turret down. Can they get the inhib? You can see Shai's coming in there. They've got to be careful. It's still a 2v1. They put the ping wall down. They have the full vision and the inhibitor picked up. So, first blood drawn by NaJin Sword in the inhibitor wars. There is an exposed inhibitor for NaJin. They've got that bottom lane is exposed now. They did manage to clear out the tower, which they fought for. This is not over. It's very, very close.
NaJin Sword really showing how good they are, because we talked, if it gets to 40 minutes and the gold's close, I said Azubu was going to have it, but NaJin Sword is really showing the different ways League of Legends can be played. Excellent team fighting, really Captain Jack getting so stacked. If they can continue to take him down, they stand a chance in these team fights. It's really all about just who outplays, because they have very distinct styles here. NaJin Sword is about the surprise, it's about the skirmish, it's about the picks. Azubu's about straight up 5v5s. They just have not been able to convert on many of them. NaJin Sword outplaying about the last 10 minutes or so.
And a lot of that credit's going down to Watch. Watch got in, got that impale perfectly on Captain Jack, pulled him back into the turret. The turret did all the damage. Everybody piled on him. And as soon as that AD carry was down, they realized a lot of the damage was already burnt away. And Ambition, if you can get on Zyra, it's very, very squishy. Spears coming across, but Azubu Blaze, they're still feeling strong. They're pushing.
They know they still have the teamfight edge. They know they have an exposed inhibitor. They might go for another one. It's a curious place for them to go. That last fight was the impale onto Shai. There's the shockwave that actually sucked Captain Jack in, crushing them down. Azubu just needs to spread out a little bit, because there's no reason for them to super clump against this NaJin Sword team. And there's enough threat from NaJin that there's not a way to get up to this middle one. They got to contest around this area. Baron's coming up in 1 minute 15 seconds. They're going to try to get control of the jungle in this area a bit.
They're trying to draw them out here to pop the Shurelias and catch them out. Draw them away from that tower, because it was the tower that switched it. And you can see they're actually they're hoping that someone's going to sneak around there. They're going to steal away the red buff. But that bottom wave, it's starting to push itself. And, well, NaJin Sword is just saying, fine, we are going to go straight up the mid and follow our super minions.
And this is actually dangerous. They might be catching themselves into a fight here. There is a Shurelias on Lustboy if they want to continue to chase. And if they take the right angle, they might get something. NaJin all waiting in a brush here. Are they going to come through? No, they actually avoid the fight entirely. Now they're rushing down towards bot.
They're going to go bot. They're going to get that inner turret, because they can't react quick enough to deal with this one. They're going to have to get in and defend against their inhibitor once again. So Azubu caught out of position. Now they use the Shurelias. Kind of a little bit late there. Do manage to get it eventually, and they clear out the way. Clever tactical play from NaJin Sword.
Very good map movement just this entire time. So expertly avoiding the big engagements 43 minutes in and still taking objectives. I wonder if they're going to try to rush a Baron down. They know exactly when it's up, and everyone on Azubu is stuck bottom, especially pushing out this wave. They might just take it. There's the blue. They could rush this. I don't know if Azubu would be able to get there in time.
So 43-49, it spawns any second now, and there it is, right on cue. And Azubu Blaze are rushing up there. It's going to get shredded. It's down half health already. I don't think they're going to get close enough. This is going to be walking straight into a Baron up NaJin Sword. There it is. Baron comes out. They dive in. They get the shockwave. They catch Helios in there, but Helios turns around and puts the rupture down. And that's going to be the Zyra ultimate popping Song in the air. They're going to catch on towards Song. Song backs out, and Azubu actually disengaged. NaJin Sword disengaged. It's like COG all over again. Everybody just avoids themselves.
The ultimates go down and everyone runs away. But Song really, with that shockwave, even though it only hit Helios, you saw as soon as the ball got in there, everyone backed off. There was no way they were following it after that engage. And the fear of knowing that a 44-minute team fight will end the game, knowing that both teams have exposed inhibitors. If someone wins a team fight by a good margin, the series is going to be over. If NaJin Sword takes it, they're the champions. If Azubu Blaze takes it, then they force a second best of 3. A lot riding on these next set of fights. And a brilliant Baron play by NaJin Sword, again taking a dragon, really doing a fantastic job keeping themselves alive here.
Well, the gold has been tight throughout, but slowly but surely, NaJin Sword starting to extend that lead. 6k gold advantage now, 14-13, 7-7, all square in turrets. Can they get that bottom inhibitor? I don't know. Azubu Blaze just waiting, stalling this one out. They need their inhibitor to respawn in that mid lane before they could really go aggressive, so they're just on the defensive. Song picking up the DFG on Orianna, so he's expecting to be close in these fights.
Really surprising there, DFG Orianna. He might have just been getting that for the cooldown reduction. That's a 6-item build there, 402 minions in. This gold lead, let's see who else is at 6 items really. Captain Jack ever approaching. He's going to go for that second Phantom Dancer. That's a surprising build. He's got no lifesteal there. He's relying on the Zeke's Herald from Lustboy to sustain himself in these fights, and with all the AoE damage that flies out, it's a little bit risky for him, but he's really just going for maximum mobility. Looks like we're going to see a split push here. MacNoon has his teleport up. The other 4 are going to be pushing. Azubu did such a good job holding at the inhibitors last game. They find themselves in that position once again. This is a much closer game here. Let's see how NaJin decides to proceed.
Well, the inhibitor has just respawned for Azubu Blaze, so NaJin realized if they were to lose out this fight, then they could just come steamrolling towards their bottom inhibitor. They could try and trade. You can see Shai heading towards MacNoon on that bottom lane. And as it is, it's a 4v4 poke fest on this top lane. And honestly, these 4v4s have been working very well for NaJin Sword. They've, of course, got the Baron, gives them that advantage. MacNoon gives Shai the slip, heads towards the mid lane, straight in towards the inhibitor. Tries to get a quick poke on there. That's going to pull the attention away. Now on towards the top turret. Prey getting caught out a little bit. Damage going down. Trade coming out. Captain Jack caught out. Rupture goes down. Is it going to be enough? Watch looking to try and get a impale on towards Captain Jack. He dodges away from the damage. Shai and MacNoon having a little bait back and forward. Ambition back towards the mid lane. NaJin Sword trading in towards this mid inhibitor. They're going to try and get a poke on it. MacNoon keeping them busy on the bottom lane. They're coming back towards its inhibitor, the exposed inhibitor, but Azubu Blaze are doing a grand job at keeping them away here, Jack.
This is that back and forth push that NaJin Sword was so good at during the World playoffs, and they're just trying to make sure MacNoon keeps Shai busy, poking back and forth. That inhibitor did get chunked down. I think that they're better suited with MacNoon, and here it comes.
Shai's going for MacNoon on that bottom lane. He's forcing him away and just can't go back and forward. Dodges the spear, but it really is starting to cause the problems for him. Can they go for it? Rupture lands. It went on towards Watch. It's not the target they wanted. It's Song thereafter. They want to get that GA popped away from him. And Ambition takes another chunk of damage. Prey just keeping him down. And that inhibitor slowly surely getting dropped. Rupture goes down. It's Song this time. They caught out. And again, that inhibitor gets poked just ever so more. Surely it's going to go down. MacNoon getting caught out again by Shai, but he's not able to go for that dive. Ambition has got caught out. Watts gets driving down. Goes. GA's been popped on Ambition. MacNoon joins the fight, comes around. Captain Jack is still alive at the side though. He's chunking down MacNoon. MacNoon gets dropped. They're going to continue through though. They do manage to take down Ambition, and they are going to get the inhibitor. It was a 2-for-1 exchange. They're going to try and turn it into another turret.
And that was a brilliant shockwave there. They had the ball on Watch. He flashed in and they got the shockwave. Captain Jack, however, still alive, but that's the inhibitor. That's another exposure that they got, and it's amazing watching them team fight with MacNoon. He's so good at team fighting with Nidalee, something I've almost never seen before, and that was really just an Orianna fight through and through, but the execution by them, so crisp, amazingly, always picking off a priority target before the fight. A lot of that has to do with Watch.
And we talked about how important Shai would be in them team fights, but he's not been in the team fight. MacNoon is just taking him away from it every single time.
Even though Shai had such an early advantage, it's been nullified really. You look now as everyone approaches 6 items, look at this gold. MacNoon's 500 ahead of Shai, so he's actually fairly strong. When they're 1v1ing, he's pushing him, and when they're in team fights, it's only a slight advantage for Shai. You look down the line though, you have 18,000 gold on Song and 18,000 gold on Prey. They're maxed items. They really can't get any more farm. This game is so much about the little things at this point, and with the cumulative pressure advantage coming through from NaJin Sword, with them having the Baron timers, another 2 minutes left, it's still so close.
Well, Vayne, is he going to double Phantom Dancer stack there?
It's got to be what he's going for. He's looking for more and more mobility. He crushes down MacNoon in a couple hits anyway, so it's just about getting those hits out faster, not getting zoned out by the shockwaves or anything else. Fighting over blue. It's a surprising fight over blue.
And the blue is still being leashed out. Helios is going to go in there. He goes on for it. He gets the rupture down. It forces them both to flash away and avoids the damage, and they get the blue back. So NaJin Sword still not 100% sure. Remember, they had the Baron in that last fight. They have not got it now, and they're still not confident in them team fights.
But even then, without the Baron, their way of keeping themselves in this game is just keeping pressure up. The entire match, they've been able to keep those side lanes pushed. They avoid themselves getting corralled. McNoon always pushing a side lane, and you can see it's either Shai or Helios, or even early game it was Captain Jack, just get stuck farming while NaJin's sword takes the objectives that they want. They pushed up the lanes, and that gives them a window to shop. They're trying to make sure that Azubu doesn't get ward coverage around Baron, because when we have the next fight there in about 45 seconds, that's what's really going to decide it. That big open fight is where McNoon's going to want to shine. He has his teleport up. Shai doesn't. They might be able to actually get an uncontested Baron, or at least a good team fight off of this. It's going to be so interesting and impactful what happens in the next minute or two, because this game is really at its breaking point.
So there's the second Phantom Dancer stacked in. Again, you mentioned it earlier that the fact there was no lifesteal, there's no lifesteal on Captain Jack either. So neither of them gone without items. We are seeing the poke back and forward. We are seeing Azubu Blaze possibly pushing the way up mid. Shai again having to deal with that pesky McNoon down the bottom. And they are going to try and catch onto someone. Prey has that red buff. Captain Jack is just absolutely like a machine gun now with the double Phantom Dancer. They just want to catch onto someone. And I never thought we'd see a 51k game. They've gone for it. Watch is going to get caught out here. It's Helios that gets in towards him, puts the rupture down. Helios was actually impaled. That's not the ideal target. And there's going to be a teleport in. McNoon getting in. Captain Jack, though, is just off the side. He is just absolutely piercing McNoon. They're turning on towards McNoon attention. He tries to bait them away. They turn in towards Watch. Watch gets caught out. And now Lustboy Kane is desperately running away from it. Azubu Blaze are absolutely stomping through NaJin's sword. Song's GA was popped. He's going to go down. Rupture straight up. Double kill Captain Jack. They're going to push straight up the mid. They could take a lot of the base down here.
And Ambition actually coming back for McNoon, who's backdooring.
McNoon on the back door, but is it going to be enough? Ambition comes down. Ambition gets him, forces him away, saves the inhibitor, and now Azubu Blaze are on that middle inhibitor. They're going to get to take it down. Remember, the bottom one is exposed as well. They could get 2 inhibs down here. McNoon continuing to be chased, but you can't catch an Italy through the jungle there. They're going to go, actually, they're going straight for the Nexus turret.
They want to end it here. They know that Prey is still not yet back in base. They're getting these down. McNoon's getting chased down by Ambition, so he can't make it back. It's a 4v2. They have to hold here.
Oh, McNoon gets caught out. He does get dropped. Ambition picks him up. McNoon goes down. The Nexus is exposed. They're onto it, but Shai gets taken down by Prey. Prey is back. The exhaust is on him. Prey is enormous. He manages to get one. He takes down Captain Jack, but Azubu Blaze are going to take it to extended series. It's 2-1. 52 minutes gone, 18-17. What a long extended game. We do get a second best of 3 series, chat.
And it's only fitting. What a great finish by Azubu. They'd been getting pushed around and split around by NaJin that entire game. And finally, with the catch, the aggression that came out from Captain Jack, that game was at its breaking point, and it broke at that moment, finally ending. What a game. These teams really just going blow for blow. That could have went either way. Now we're resetting.
Now we're
Best
resetting.
of 3 once again.